falling apart, and yet we're watching, and that's just when we started filming. I mean, that's like Luann and Tom or Teresa going to jail. It's like, or Jen Shah. It's like a real life thing, Dorit and PK, that we're just lucky that we're here and are able to catch. So I'm loving that. She's been doing a lot of press. A lot of people have been doing a lot of press. She is she's a fan of Kenya and says Kenya deserves to be there. And look, it went too far. Andy has confirmed that Kenya will be in a supporting role all season. There's rumors that Britt pulled a gun on Kenya. That's what Kenya says. That's not confirmed. But Portia is speaking out in favor of Kenya and saying, like, look, I hope we see her at the reunion. She's slamming Drew because Drew was trying to befriend Dennis, the hot dog king, her other baby daddy, and I guess Simon isn't her baby daddy; he's just her husband. But also, it came up about the Upshaws, and she says, because she was supposed to be on the Upshaws with Nene, she didn't do it. They replaced her with Cynthia. It was clear to all of us, like, oh, girl, Nene is persona non grata, and you're afraid to film with Nene because you just are not getting that Bravo check back, and you want nothing to do with Nene. But she's saying that she was there and she was in the other room and she was getting ready and her marriage was falling apart, and she heard Nene's voice, and she got so emotional. It brought her back to the days when they were girls together on RHOA, and she got so emotional to hear Nene's voice with everything she was going through with her divorce, that she just couldn't handle it, and she had to run out and go home. And I don't know if she got paid or not. Nene is calling bullshit on this. Nene is slamming Portia and saying, girl, that ain't the story. Basically, you didn't want to film with me because you were afraid that you just got back in with Bravo and you were going to get in trouble. So Nene is calling a bullshit on this. Um, Man, I have so much else to say. Do we even have time? We don't really have time because it's a whole story. But look, the bottom line is I'm kind of loving. Well, just the only other thing is, well, this is quick. Not that anyone cares. Frank Sr., really happy that Frankie Jr. is engaged. He got married to Brittany. Frank and Brittany are married. They had a small wedding. They might have a bigger wedding in New Jersey. Dr. David, Dolores's ex, officiated. And Frank Sr. said, I'm out of here. It's too cold in the Northeast in the winter. And I am moving to Florida, to Del Rey, like all the other old people. And I don't blame you, Frank Sr. If I didn't do this job and didn't have a place in LA, because I like to go to LA in the winter while everyone else in New York goes to Florida, I would be in Florida myself. I mean, man, if you could just get there for more than 186 days, you pay no income tax, but you gotta really be there, and that's a problem for me. But one day when I don't do this job anymore, I'll probably go down to Palm Beach instead of LA, but then I'll have to fucking see Ramona. You got that fucking Ramona singer bopping all over Palm Beach, and there's Jill, although we love Jill, but I don't blame you, Frank Jr., Frank Sr., and he thinks Dolores and Paulie will be engaged soon. There you go. And we have more on New Jersey. Not that I really care. So great news for Denise Richards. I think people are loving it. I love it. Let's check the ratings. Oh, and by the way, Angela Oakley is married to NBA legend Charles Oakley. So she has money. Shamea is my favorite, and I don't mind Portia. And I really, really, really spent 2 years miserable over RHOA, not wanting to watch a minute of it. And look, we might have something here. It may not be as bad as we all anticipated. Our thoughts and prayers are with Miss Mellencamp. The traders brought it. Dorinda, girl, get over it. I would love to go on the traders, and we will talk some Beverly Hills next time. Thank you guys for being here on a quick Tuesday. Everyone watched Selling the City. It was a great show. We had Eleonora Sprugo on, basically the lead of the show earlier today. If you're not watching Selling the City, another show I recommend. I mean, Selling Sunset, Selling VOC, Selling the City was great. I obviously have a personal tie to it because New York is my city, so to speak. Um, Don't ever say that I'm an LA person. No offense. So listen to that interview from earlier today, and we have a great rest of the week planned. Slip into the comments. Are you guys liking Real Housewives of Atlanta? Slip into the comments. Are you liking Denise's show? Lighthearted. Oh, and we're gonna even get some Charlie Sheen, and they're talking about Charlie Sheen. Oh, and Brooke Muller, his ex, is there. Oh, you know what I wanted to say about Denise's show before we go? My God. Look, we have all these people. She's going to have her big sit down with Erica Jane because, Denise, your coat is upside down. And, Erica was like this, and Denise, you're on drugs, and blah, 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 blah. It's been great. We love seeing Camille. We have more housewives coming. We see Tori Spelling. It would break the fucking internet if you can get Lisa goddamn Rinna on the show. And the final episode, you and Rinna could just sit there and just. This really is what I've been thinking about at night. Now, I don't think it's this season is already filmed. Rinna doesn't do anything unless it's like a hit. So we need this whole season to go through, okay? And then, and by the way, we can do a double crossover. Okay, listen, here's my idea. It's all coming to me now, guys. Sometimes things happen on the spot. Look, Denise wants to promote her show and make a bunch of money over here. Rena wants to promote that podcast. Don't let it be about the husband. So I think next season, when Denise's show is a huge hit, Lisa Rinna, I mean, Tori Spelling just was on it and she promoted her damn podcast. We love you, Tori. But next season, we got to get for the finale or the opener, we got to get Lisa Rinna onto Denise's show. They have to sit down and they have to really just be like, man, it was Housewives. Housewives did that to us. Now, Rinna, I think, owes Denise a huge apology for basically, like, I basically jumped on the bandwagon or helped spread the whole rumor that you were cheating on your husband. Um, but wouldn't that be great? And then you know what? She can promote her podcast, and then Denise can go on Rinna's podcast. And again, if Denise Richards was going to sit there for 1 hour on Lisa Rinna's podcast, I guarantee you it would be the highest rated episode of Lisa's podcast. And I guarantee you Denise's show would be probably the highest rated episode. These two soap actresses, she was on 90210 for a minute, Denise, they need to come together and they need to reconcile. This is what I want, and I want it to happen on Denise's show, and it could be a crossover for Rinna. Rinna loves money. She loves the hustle. Denise wants her show to succeed. This is a win-win only in Hollywood, guys. Can we have a major falling out on one show? And hey, it's all great. Hey, Nene's making baby steps to come back to RHOA or being good with the network. So anything is possible, right? There we go. Oh, and by the way, speaking of that, Denise during her interviews was asked about Kyle and she was asked the question of, so Kyle doesn't want to come out that she's basically madly in love with Morgan. She doesn't want to come out that she is dating a woman. She doesn't want to come out that she is in love, having an adult relationship with this girl, but yet she basically tried to out you. It was certainly implied that you were having a threesome, but basically also outed you in the sense that you hooked up with Brandy. So isn't that a double standard? And Denise graciously said, it is completely a double standard. So there you go. I want those two to reconcile. And she's slamming, shading Kyle. Love you, Denise. Love all of you. That's enough for today. I got to go figure out tomorrow's show. I'll talk.